Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to Game Arena. And July 2026 is about to go absolutely crazy for gaming. This month, we have a pirate remake 13 years in the making. A monster-catching survival game finally leaving early access after 2.5 years. The first ever avatar-bending fighting game. The Halo campaign back from the dead on PlayStation for the first time in history. A tiny mouse taking on an ancient evil kingdom. No VR headset required. A train-riding Tony Hawk meets anime fever dream. And the Grand Blue Fantasy sequel that the action RPG community has been waiting for. 7 games, 1 month, and every single one of them drops in July. Let's break them all down right now. If you're new here, subscribe to Game Arena and hit the bell. We do this every month and I don't want you to miss it. Let's go!
Opening up July right on the first week, Avatar Legends: The Fighting Game, July 2nd, and Avatar fans have been waiting years for something like this. This is the first ever fighting game set in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, both series combined into one roster. It's developed as a hand-drawn 2D fighter featuring characters including Aang, Korra, Zuko, Toph, Katara, and Sokka, and the animation style is faithful to the original series. Not generic, not lazy, it looks like the show. At launch, you've got 12 playable characters, including Aang and Korra's Avatar state forms as separate characters, which is a genius decision. Avatar Aang and fully powered Avatar state Aang should feel completely different to fight as, and that kind of attention to the source material suggests the developers actually care about this IP. The dev team behind this, Gameplay Group, previously worked on fighting games with rollback netcode, which is the gold standard for online fighting game stability. The game supports crossplay at launch, meaning PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC players can all fight each other. That's huge for building a competitive community from day one. And the price? $29.99. That's it! Not $70, not $60, $29.99 for a fully featured fighting game in one of the most beloved fictional universes ever created. If you grew up watching either Avatar series, and let's be real, most of us did, this is a day one purchase. The next one, and this is the biggest release of the month, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, July 9th. For anyone who played the original Black Flag in 2013, you already know. For anyone who didn't, let me catch you up fast. Black Flag is widely considered the greatest Assassin's Creed game ever made, and one of the finest pirate games in history. Edward Kenway, charming, reckless, brilliant, navigating the golden age of piracy while getting caught between the Assassins and Templars. And Ubisoft didn't just remaster it, this is a full remake that has been rebuilt from the ground up. It contains zero code from the original 2013 game. They built it entirely from scratch in the latest Anvil engine, the same technology powering Assassin's Creed Shadows. What's actually new, though? Familiar faces return with new storylines dedicated to Blackbeard and Stede Bonnet, new sea shanties have been added, photo mode is in, 3 new officers join the Jackdaw as part of the main narrative. The lead writer from the original, Darby McDevitt, came back to write new scenes specifically to deepen Edward's personal journey. Also dropping on July 9th, and yes, it's a stacked day, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Endless Ragnarok. Now, if you haven't played Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, here's the short version. It's one of the best action RPGs of the last few years, and it was criminally underplayed. Fast, fluid combat, a huge cast of unique characters, spectacular co-op raid bosses. It's the kind of game that once you get into it, you don't come out for weeks. Endless Ragnarok isn't just an expansion. It adds new story content, cross-play co-op, new summons, and expanded endgame modes, essentially making it a complete new entry. The Conflux, a new solo-focused mode filled with unpredictable encounters and unique modifiers, has been added for players who prefer to go it alone. The next and the moment Palworld players have been waiting for since January 2024. Palworld version 1.0, July 10th. For 2.5 years, Palworld has been in early access, and in that time, it became a phenomenon. Over 25 million copies sold in the first month, a viral explosion that nobody saw coming, a game that put monster-catching survival games on the map in a completely new way. Now, it's leaving early access and going full 1.0, and what Pocket Pair are adding is massive. The World Tree region opens, a second major island that roughly doubles the playable map. New pals are confirmed. The genetic recombination breeding system drops, which means you can actually combine and customize pal genetics for completely unique creatures. That's a game changer for dedicated players.
next. And this is the wildest game on this entire list, Dench Attack, July 15th. Okay, let me explain what this game is, because on paper it sounds insane. You play as Amy, a delivery driver who gets pulled into an underground world of people who do skateboard-style tricks on trains. Gravity-defying, wall-riding, kick-flipping trains. The visual shorthand is Dreamcast-era jet-set radio more than anything recent. Neon colors, anime aesthetics, dystopian Japanese cities, absolute chaotic energy. You ollie, kickflip, and grind through Tokyo, Osaka, and beyond. Cities now locked under massive domes by the evil Muraido Corporation. The bosses are reimagined Japanese trains. That's a sentence that exists. Mecha magical girls, moving castles, mechanical worms. The bosses get wilder and wilder the further you get. The lead composer is T. Lopes, the same person who made the Sonic Mania and TMNT Shredder's Revenge soundtracks, so the music is going to absolutely slap.
We remember you, dear reader.
The next one, and this one is for the gamers who want something completely different from everything else on this list. Moss, The Forgotten Relic, July 16th. Moss is a series that most console gamers never got to experience because it was locked behind VR headsets on PlayStation for years. It won over 160 awards across both of its entries. And now, finally, Polyarch has answered the question the community has been asking since 2018. When can players without a VR headset experience Quill's story? So, who is Quill? She's a small mouse. Brave, expressive, full of personality, fighting to save her kingdom from arcane forces. You play as the Reader, a spirit guide who controls Quill and interacts with the environment directly to help her. Quill does not just follow commands. She looks to the player for guidance, protection, and trust at every step. That bond between the player and Quill is... And closing out the month, one of the most historically significant game releases of 2026, Halo Campaign Evolved, July 28th. Let me put this in context. Halo Combat Evolved came out in 2001 as an Xbox launch title. It defined what the Xbox was. It created one of the most beloved sci-fi universes in gaming. And for 25 years, it has been an Xbox exclusive franchise, never on PlayStation. Never. Halo Campaign Evolved launches July 28, 2026, making it the first mainline Halo campaign ever released on a PlayStation console. That is genuinely historic. The game that built Microsoft's console identity is now on Sony's box. Day one, same price, same features. But what is the game? It's a ground-up Unreal Engine 5 remake of Halo Combat Evolved's campaign, following Master Chief and Cortana after crash landing on a ring-shaped alien world, where they must rally human survivors to fight off the Covenant. And it's not just the original game with better graphics. 3 new missions expand the original's lore under Operation Meteorite, with one taking place before the UNSC's first contact with the Forerunner Halo installations. The game supports 4-player online co-op with crossplay and cross-progression across all platforms. And that is your complete July 2026 game breakdown from Game Arena. That is one stacked month. I genuinely don't know how anyone is supposed to keep up with all of this. Drop a comment. Which July game are you most excited for? And which one caught you off guard that you hadn't heard of before this video? I want to know. If this video was helpful, like it, subscribe to Game Arena, hit the bell so you get notified when we drop the August preview. We do this every month, and it just keeps getting better.